Welcome back, everyone, to Week 6 of the North American LCS. We're here to round out Day 1 in the interview lounge with Team Velocity. These guys coming out with a big win. We have Vile Rose and Echo joining me here for a little while before we go over some replays. Gentlemen, congratulations on the win. This team has definitely seen a lot of changes in the past few weeks. And I have to say, Vile Rose, what was it like adapting to top lane in just those few weeks?
It's a lot different than playing mid lane because the champ pool is like completely different. So getting used to all the bruisers and stuff is pretty tough, and it kind of snowballed that game in their favor for top lane. So I was just kind of spending the time recovering.
And Echo, what's it been like kind of getting adjusted with the team? Obviously on LCS last split, so you know what the schedule is like, the regimen is. What's it like getting together with Velocity?
It's very enjoyable. I really like playing with all of them. Just kind of getting back in the groove of grinding every day. I was playing on an amateur team a little bit, but it wasn't like as strict as a schedule, but it's very enjoyable.
Now, Kobe mentioned it a little
Worried, but it worked.
You were participating for most of them. Were those changes hesitated on, or were they made when Velocity thought they need to make the changes?
They were made when we kind of figured out we needed to make a change. Coming in 2-10 2 weeks ago was kind of the turning point.
All right, well, hopefully this is another turning point for you guys. Coming out with another big win. Counterlogic Gaming definitely had their fans behind them and a lot of momentum. You guys were able to stop that and hopefully continue with some of your own. So, guys, we have some replays to go over for the rest of the day. Great casting between Trevor and Kobe on the last few matches, but Jat is going to break down those plays over on the Telestrator before we head out.
Thank you very much, Riv. And there are two fights in particular between CLG and Velocity that really showed why the game went the way it did. Now, before I get into this fight, we have to keep in mind that CLG really has 2 AD carries, and if we think about it, 2 supports. So what they want to do is they want to be their own separate squads within team fights and not group up. Also, Big Fat LP has to work overtime in this four-man fight because he is really the only thing that keeps the entire Velocity team from going and getting onto CLG squishies. So let's roll this clip to see how it falls out. They land the hook and Evaniscus goes in. And if we pause it here, we'll get to see that even though Big Fat OP is trying to keep Doublelift and Link safe, he doesn't have enough spacing between himself and the rest of the team. So Velocity will be able to get down as well. Everyone gets caught in this shockwave because they were too close up after this turret siege. Let's just roll this clip. The rest of it, they all got hit by the shockwave. It was a brilliant shockwave by Echo, and they chased him down, the rest of CLG down, to just get this. And at this point, CLG recognized that that's not how they need to team fight. They need to space Big Fat OP in front. They need to have Nien on Aurelia going in behind and distracting from Velocity. But as we see in the rest of this game, Velocity never let that happen. Before we get into this fight, we need to notice that Big Fat OP is already at about 30% health, so he has to go back. And that tells Velocity that it's time for them to go because they no longer have to worry about anyone stopping them from getting to Doublelift, Link, and Chouster. Let's actually roll this clip because once Big Fat OP is out, it's fishing time for Evaniscus. He tries to find a hook and he actually gets one onto Link, which just tells them to go right here. So he gets it, he flies in, and if we pause it right here, we really get to see how exposed CLG's composition was, and as Echo said, how much more crowd control the rest of Velocity had. Because this entire backline of CLG needs to be protected. Right now, the only thing standing in the way of CLG's composition, and the rest of Velocity is Nien. And he already used his stun. So everybody on Velocity will get to pile down and just rip through COG. Let's roll this clip to see exactly how it goes out. There's no protection. Virus goes in, NK Inc goes in, the Shockwave goes in, the Maple Street Ultimate goes in. There was nothing left for COG, and that's why the team fights continually went to Velocity again and again in this game, and ultimately why they were able to come out on top with the victory. So they changed around their playstyle mid-game to suit COG's composition, and we'll see if more plays like that can lead to success in the future. Back to the guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jat, showing that Maple Street really earned his marksman title in that matchup.
Oh, yeah.
We're halfway through week 6 of the NALCS, so let's take a look at the standings. Cloud9 still owns first place like they have all summer long. And with their win today, they now have an unprecedented 14-2 record in the LCS.
Vulcan also snagged a win today, and they remain in second place at 11-5, while Counterlogic Gaming is still sitting in third at 8-8. Excuse me.
Coming in at 4th is half the league. Curse, Coast, Dignitas, and Team Solo Mid are all 2 games under 500 at 7-9.
And finally, rounding out the standings in 8th place is Velocity Esports at 3-13.
So they got that win. Maybe it's a trend upwards.
They're moving up.
Yeah, definitely. So coming up tomorrow, guys, for the continuation of week 6 of the League Championship Series, we'll be starting from Tenerife, Spain. Up first, it's a best-of-3 challenger match between the Copenhagen Wolves and ESC Gaming. Then Meet Your Makers faces off against Fnatic, followed by Ninjas in Pajamas taking on the Lemon Dogs.
After that, it's Team Alternate battling EG and SK Gaming taking on Gambit.
It all starts at 6 a.m. Pacific and 1500 Central European Summertime. The action continues Friday here in Los Angeles as the North American teams take to the Rift for 4 more games. Up first, Team Coast takes on Team Solo Mid. Then it's Cloud9 facing off against Curse.
After that, it's Dignitas battling Counterlogic Gaming and Velocity Esports taking on Vulcan.
And the North American LCS kicks off at 3 p.m. Pacific time and Saturday at midnight Central European Summertime if you're over on that side of the pond.
And if you missed any of today's action, head over to lolesports.com, click on the schedule, and hit the match details button below the game to watch.
All right, that does it for the broadcast of the North American League Championship Series. So for myself, Kobe, Riv, Jat, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Balls might try to turn.
Whoa, throws down the equalizer on a Dyrus, and he's right there in the eyes of the odd one, and even he's forced out.
The steal is a potential.
Tries to go in.
He got it.
He does get it with the Lux Slays on the final spark, takes it.
He choked them out. Our late game is insane compared to theirs. Once everybody gets MR,
Yep, I have beer. I have beer.
you got him.
Good job.
Good job. Good job. We win the game. Good job, guys.
All right, I'm going. I can do balance.
Are you a god? Are you a god?
Yep.
You're a god!
Oh, nice.
God damn!
Now Zach's coming around for the bat.
The crescendo locks them up. Scorage just gets deleted from the map.